Stop everything you're doing right now, my beloved child. This is not a coincidence. You were led here, not by a random scroll or an algorithm, but by divine appointment. Yes, you. The one reading this with a tired heart, the one searching for a whisper of hope, the one asking, God, do you see me? Listen carefully, for what you're about to hear is not for everyone, it's for you. God says, I have chosen this exact moment to speak to your soul. You've been walking with heavy steps, haven't you? Carrying burdens that no one else seems to notice. Smiling on the outside, while inside, the silence screams louder than words. You've been strong for so long, but even strength has limits. Maybe you've whispered in the dark, Lord, I can't do this anymore, and maybe that's why He brought you here. Not to condemn you. Not to test you. But to comfort you. To remind you that you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. My child, I see you. I see your tears, the ones that never reach your cheeks. I see the moments when you want to give up, and I want you to know, I'm closer than your next breath. Today, my message is simple, don't be afraid. I am with you. Not just beside you, but holding you, shielding you, walking before you, clearing paths you can't yet see. Like the wind that touches your face but cannot be seen, my presence surrounds you in ways you cannot always perceive. You've been asking for signs, haven't you? You've prayed for clarity, for confirmation, for a word that would cut through the noise and say, yes, God is still listening. This is it. This is the moment. God is speaking to you now, not with thunder or fire, but in the still, soft echo of His love. You may feel lost in a storm, but remember, even the storm obeys my voice. Even the winds and waves must answer to my will. So why would you think I've forgotten you? When I command the seas, would I not care for the child I handcrafted with love? My beloved, I want you to pause and hear me say, you are mine. I have not let go. You were never walking alone. Even in the silence, I was speaking. Even in the stillness, I was working. My silence was not my absence. It was my preparation. Do you remember Joseph? Betrayed, abandoned, thrown into a pit, forgotten in prison, yet every step, I was writing a story bigger than his pain. I do the same for you. Your delay is not denial. Your pain is not purposeless. Every closed door, every unanswered prayer, every detour has led you here, for this exact moment of divine recognition. Let me remind you of my promise, I will never leave you nor forsake you. These are not just words. This is my covenant with your heart. So breathe, child. Let your spirit rest. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need to figure it all out. Just take one step, and I'll guide the next. I am not asking you to be perfect. I'm only asking you to trust. Trust that I know the way. Trust that I see the full picture. Trust that my love will never fail. There is a door I am about to open for you, one that no man can shut. There is healing I am pouring into your soul even now. You feel it, don't you? That flicker of peace you can't explain. That's me. That's my spirit reminding you, you are not abandoned. You are deeply, eternally, relentlessly loved. You may not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and say, God was there the whole time. This is not your ending. This is your turning point. Let go of the fear. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the weight you were never meant to carry. I've already carried it for you. My grace is enough. My power is made perfect in your weakness. And my timing? It's never early, never late, always perfect. So, lift your eyes. Wipe your tears. You are not on the edge of defeat, you are on the brink of breakthrough. Everything you've been through has prepared you for what's next. But you must not give up now. The enemy wants you tired, hopeless, distracted. But I'm here to realign your soul. To remind you that this pain you feel is not the absence of my love, but the birthing of something greater. Stay with me. Keep believing. Keep praying. Because I am not finished with your story. Not yet. In fact, it's only just beginning. You see, I write in seasons. And this new season, though it begins with quiet, will soon overflow with joy. With purpose. With redemption. But first, you must listen. And you must believe. This is your sign. This is your moment. And this is my voice, calling you back to peace. So take a deep breath, child. I've got you. I always have. Tell me, child, how long have you been waiting? How many nights have you whispered prayers into the void, wondering if they ever reached my ears? How many times have you looked up at the sky and said, Lord, are you even listening? I know the silence can be deafening. I know what it feels like to ask and receive no answer, to seek and find nothing, to knock until your hands grow weary and still no door opens. But what you didn't see, what your heart couldn't grasp, is that I was listening all along. I was moving pieces in ways that didn't look like progress, but were part of a plan far greater than you could imagine. You see, when you were crying, I was collecting every tear. When you felt alone, I was surrounding you with angels. And when your faith was breaking, I was holding the pieces gently, preparing to make it whole again. My beloved, you are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. Your faith has not expired. The pain you're feeling now is not punishment, it's preparation. I am growing something in you that comfort alone could never produce. You ask, why this long? Why this hard? Because sometimes the greatest transformation begins in the deepest sorrow. Because even gold must pass through fire. I did not cause your pain. But I will redeem it. And I am closer than ever before. The waiting has not been wasted. The silence was never a void. It was me, working in the dark, building your foundation, stronger, deeper, unshakable. Remember Joseph again, his dreams shattered, his freedom stolen, his voice silenced. Yet in the stillness of the prison, I was planting a kingly purpose. From forgotten to favored, from rejected to ruler, I did not forget him. And I will not forget you. You may not see the way, but I have already made a way. You may feel stuck, but I am shifting the ground beneath you. My child, lift your eyes. This is not the season of endings, it is the season of roots. And though it feels buried, what's growing will one day break through. Do not rush what I am refining. Don't curse what I'm still blessing. The story is not over, and neither is my promise to you. I want you to hear me clearly, you are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair. And you are not a disappointment. I created you. I know every layer of your heart. I know the thoughts you hide, the shame you carry, the guilt you can't release. But I never asked you to be perfect, I only asked you to be mine. And you are. Always. Even on your worst days, I still choose you. Even in your lowest moments, I still love you. Let that truth anchor you. Let it sink deep into the parts of you that have grown cold with disappointment. I am not afraid of your doubts. I am not offended by your questions. Bring them all to me. Lay them down. You don't have to have it all together. Just bring me your heart, and I will hold it. And child, remember, even in silence, I speak. Even in darkness, I shine. I am the light that no shadow can overcome. The healer who still restores. The shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one, and today, that one is you. You've been asking for confirmation. You've been saying, Lord, if you're really speaking to me, give me a sign. Here it is. Not thunder. Not lightning. Just this. My still, small voice whispering, I'm here. And I'm not done. In fact, I'm just beginning. You see, the battle you're in now. It's not because you're weak. It's because your calling is strong. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't a threat. And you, my child, are dangerous to the darkness. That's why you've been attacked. That's why it's been so hard. But you've made it this far, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of grace. My grace. The same grace that carried Moses through the sea, Elijah through the drought, Esther through fear, and David through the valley, is carrying you now. Do not lose heart. Your breakthrough is closer than it feels. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. And I will never fail you. Take this as your second wind. Let hope rise again. Let faith awaken. Let joy stir in your spirit once more. I know it's hard. I know you're tired. But my strength is made perfect in your weakness. And child, you are not weak. You are weary. But I will renew you. You are wounded, but I will restore you. You are waiting, but I am working. So hold on. Heaven is closer than you think. Miracles are already in motion. You may not see them, but they're coming. I'm not asking you to run, I'm asking you to rest. To trust. To believe again. Because you're not walking alone. I'm with you. I always have been. And I always will be. You've been asking, God, why does it still hurt? You've said, if you really love me, why haven't things changed? I heard those cries, child, not just the words, but the ache behind them. The tears you wiped away so no one else would see, the battles you fought in silence because you didn't want to look weak, the nights when your pillow knew more of your pain than any friend ever could, I was there. And I didn't turn away. In fact, that's when I came closer. Because my love isn't scared of brokenness. I don't run from mess, I step into it. I step into pain and bring peace. I step into chaos and bring calm. I step into weakness and bring power. You've misunderstood the silence as absence, but let me reveal the truth, my silence is sometimes the loudest form of love. Because while you're waiting, I'm protecting you from things you can't yet see. While you're asking, why not now, I'm asking, can you trust me anyway? Trust me when the doors stay closed. Trust me when the answer is, not yet. Trust me when you don't understand. Because child, it's easy to trust when things go right, but real faith is built in the waiting. Real trust is forged in the fire. And your heart? It's stronger than it's ever been, even if it doesn't feel like it. What you see as delay, I see as deepening. What you feel as loss, I am using as launch. I never promised the path would be painless, but I did promise it would have purpose. You are not walking in circles, you're walking through sacred ground. And even now, in the stillness of this moment, I am awakening things inside you that were never meant to die. Dreams that were buried by disappointment. Passion that was crushed by pressure. Faith that was bruised by betrayal. I am breathing life back into what the enemy tried to silence. I am speaking resurrection into the places you thought were finished. Just like I called Lazarus from the grave, I'm calling you out of fear, out of shame, out of guilt, and into glory. Don't believe the lie that it's too late. Don't fall for the voice that says, you missed your moment. If you were too far gone, I wouldn't be speaking now. If I had given up on you, this message would not find you. But it did. And that's not an accident. It's proof. Proof that I'm still fighting for you. Proof that my hand is still over your life. Proof that your story is still unfolding. And child, you need to know, my plans for you have not changed. Not because of your mistakes. Not because of your doubts. Not because of the time that's passed. What I spoke over you still stands. Heaven does not retract what I declare. So let go of the timelines. Let go of the pressure. Let go of trying to prove your worth, because you were worthy to me before you even knew my name. The world may measure you by your output, your progress, your performance, but I never have. I look at your heart. And I see faith. I see courage. I see someone who keeps showing up, even when it hurts. And I honor that. You may feel like you've failed, but to me, you've been faithful. That quiet prayer you whispered through clenched teeth. I saw it. That small act of kindness you gave while your own heart was breaking. I felt it. That moment you worshipped me even when you didn't feel me. I received it. You're doing better than you think. And I'm not finished yet. There's more I want to build in you. More I want to heal in you. More I want to release through you. But first, I need you to rest. I need you to trust that I'm not just the God of miracles, I'm the God of timing. And the same God who walked on water, who calmed the storm, who raised the dead, who split the sea, is the same God writing your next chapter. Nothing has been wasted. Not one moment. Not one prayer. Not one tear. I've used it all to shape the masterpiece you're becoming. So be still. Stay close. Let the noise fade and let my voice rise. Because this is holy ground. This is healing ground. This is where pain ends and purpose begins. And my child, I'm not just bringing you out, I'm lifting you up. There's something I want to tell you, something that might surprise you. It's okay that you're tired. It's okay that you've questioned me. I'm not angry. I'm not disappointed. You see, I never asked you to walk through this life as if you were unbreakable. I knew there would be days like this. Days when your strength would fade, when your prayers would feel heavy, when faith would be a whisper instead of a shout. And yet, I still called you mine. I still chose you. Because I don't define you by your weakest moment, I define you by your belonging to me. And you belong, even when you don't feel worthy. Especially then. I know you've been carrying things for so long, things no one else knows about. Memories you don't speak of. Fears you've buried under a strong exterior. Shame that clings to your soul like shadows in a room with no light. But child, you need to understand, nothing you carry is too heavy for me. Nothing you've done has disqualified you from my grace. I know what they said. I know what you tell yourself. That you're too broken. Too late. Too lost. But I speak a better word. I say you are found. You are chosen. You are loved. And not because you earned it, but because I am love. And my love is not a reward, it's a rescue. You didn't come this far by accident. I've been guiding you even through the wilderness. Every no was a redirection. Every delay was a protection. Every door that didn't open was me steering you away from harm you couldn't see. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment. I'm not trying to harm you, I'm trying to heal you. But healing, child, doesn't always look like instant miracles. Sometimes it looks like courage to get up again. Sometimes it's forgiveness when bitterness feels safer. Sometimes it's trusting me when the answer is still silence. And I know that hurts. I know it's hard to praise me when everything feels still broken. But that is the purest kind of worship, the kind that rises not from what's seen, but what's believed. When you lift your eyes in the middle of the storm and still say, God, I trust you, that shakes the heavens. That moves mountains. That opens doors no man can shut. Because faith is not about never doubting, it's about choosing me even when the doubt is loud. And child, you have chosen well. Even when your hands were trembling. Even when your voice was cracking. You kept praying. You kept believing. And I have counted every moment. Heaven records not your perfection, but your perseverance. And that perseverance, it's producing something beautiful. Deeper roots. Stronger faith. A boldness the enemy can't steal. So don't stop now. Don't let go. You're closer than you think. You're not circling the same mountain, you're climbing it. And the view from the top will make every valley worth it. You don't see it yet, but I'm already turning things in your favor. I'm already sending the right people, opening the right doors, preparing the right moments. And when it happens, you'll say, only God could have done this. That's the kind of story I'm writing for you. Not a quiet, forgettable one, but a miracle in motion. But for now, rest in me. Let me carry the burden. Let me remind you that I'm still in control. You don't have to force it. You don't have to chase it. What's meant for you will come, because I've ordained it. And what I ordain, no man can cancel. So exhale, my child. The weight you're feeling is not your failure, it's the growing pain of becoming. You are becoming who I made you to be. One step at a time. One tear at a time. One prayer at a time. I see it. I bless it. And I am in it, all of it. Even now. I know what they don't see. I see the nights you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anything you do even matters. I see the silent battles, the invisible grief, the way you keep showing up even when your heart is breaking in ways words can't explain. And I want you to know, none of it goes unnoticed. Not by me. Not one tear, not one whispered prayer, not one breath of surrender has slipped past me. I collect every piece of your pain, not as a record of suffering, but as raw material for redemption. Because nothing in your life has been wasted. Not the detours. Not the heartbreak. Not the silence. Especially not the silence. That silence. It wasn't me turning away, it was me turning you inward. Because there are parts of you that can only awaken when the noise around you fades. There is faith that only grows in the soil of stillness. You see, when everything else is quiet, that's when you finally hear the voice that matters most. My voice. And my voice does not condemn. My voice doesn't shame. My voice speaks in a tone only love can carry. I say to you now, your life is not a mistake. Your journey is not random. Even the messiest chapters are being woven into something beautiful. I'm not the author of your pain, but I am the author of your healing. I didn't cause the storm, but I will use the storm to anchor your roots. I will use the fire to purify, not to punish. I will use the loss to create space for new life. But for that to happen, you must release what was never meant to stay. The guilt. The false timelines. The voice that says you're falling behind. I am not in that voice. I'm not rushing you. I'm restoring you. I'm not comparing you, I'm comforting you. I know what broke you. I know what you've hidden. But I am not afraid of your scars. In fact, I call them sacred. They are not signs of defeat, they are signs of survival. And more than that, they are reminders of how I carried you through the fire, even when you didn't feel it. So let the shame fall off. Let the pressure dissolve. You don't have to pretend anymore. You can be real with me. Because I've always been real with you. You see, this is what love looks like, me meeting you in the middle of the mess, not waiting for you to clean it up, but stepping into it with holy intention. You think you need to be stronger. But what I want is for you to be softer, with me, with yourself, with the people around you. Because the world tells you to harden. To toughen up. But I am asking you to open. To feel. To trust. To hope again. Even when it's terrifying. Even when it goes against everything you've trained yourself to do. Because child, hope is not naive, it's holy. It's resistance against despair. And when you choose to hope anyway, you're declaring war on the enemy's biggest weapon, fear. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to have the answers. What you need, what you've always needed, is me. And I've never left. I've never withheld. I've never given up. Not once. So here we are, just you and me again. No masks. No pretending. Just truth. And the truth is, this pain won't last forever. This valley is not your grave. This darkness is not your ending. It's a tunnel. And I am the light waiting at the end of it. But also, I am the light walking with you through it. So don't rush out of this place. Don't curse the waiting. Don't wish away the process. Something holy is happening here. Something sacred. Something eternal. You are becoming. Not perfect. Not polished. But real. Whole. New. And I will finish what I started in you. I always do. You keep asking, God, why does it feel like everything is falling apart? But what you don't realize is that sometimes falling apart is part of falling into place. You see the fragments and feel failure, but I see foundation. What you call broken, I call beautiful in process. What you think is chaos, I know as construction. Because there are things in you I'm building that don't come from comfort, they come from fire. Not to destroy, but to define. To refine. To reveal what was always there, strength that pain cannot steal, identity not built on titles or approval, but on truth that cannot be shaken. And the truth is this, who you are has never been based on what you've been through. It's based on who I am in you. So let me speak to the lies you've carried for far too long. The one that says, you're too weak. No, child. You've been resilient in the face of storms that would have drowned others. The one that whispers, you're too late. No. My timing redeems all things. The one that screams, you'll never be enough. That voice is not mine. My voice calls you chosen. My voice calls you redeemed. My voice calls you home. I know how hard it's been to keep going. To wake up and face a world that keeps demanding more than you feel you have. But even on the days when you can't move mountains, child, I see you climb over molehills with quiet courage. I see the small victories no one claps for, getting out of bed, praying when your heart feels numb, smiling when your soul feels hollow. And I honor that. Because I'm not just in the miracles. I'm in the mundane. I'm not just in the breakthroughs. I'm in the daily breaths. You want revival? Sometimes revival starts with a sigh. Sometimes it starts with the words, I'm still here. And you are. You're still here. Despite the pain, despite the pressure, despite the lies and the loss and the loneliness, you're still here. That is no small thing. That is testimony in motion. You may not have seen the healing yet. You may not have felt the shift. But it's coming. Because every promise I've ever spoken over you still stands. I haven't changed my mind. I haven't looked away. I haven't given up. You might feel like you're just surviving, but survival is sacred when it's laced with faith. And your faith, even the little that remains, is enough to move mountains. Remember, child, I never asked for perfection. I asked for presence. I never demanded clarity. I invited surrender. And even when your grip is loose, I've never loosened mine. I'm holding you. Not just when you feel strong, but especially when you're not. That's what love does. Love doesn't wait for you to earn it. Love enters in. Love sits beside you in the hospital room. Love stays up through the night with you in the anxiety. Love walks with you into that meeting you're dreading. Love shows up. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. You don't have to run faster, pray harder, try more. You just have to let me in. Let me into the thoughts you're scared to say out loud. Let me into the places you've closed off because you thought they were too messy, too far gone, too complicated. Let me in, and I'll bring light into the darkest corners. Let me in, and I'll speak peace to the storm you've gotten used to living with. Because you were never meant to just survive the storm, you were meant to rise in the middle of it. Not by your own strength, but by mine. That's why I let you read this now. That's why you're here. Not because you're weak, but because you're ready. Ready to stop pretending. Ready to release control. Ready to remember that even in the waiting, even in the wounds, even in the wilderness, I am working. Always working. So stop measuring yourself by what hasn't happened yet. Start remembering what already has. The breath in your lungs is proof I'm not done. The whisper in your heart right now, that's me, reminding you, I've carried you this far, and I will not let go now. Let me say this again, so your heart doesn't forget, do not be afraid. I am with you. I have always been with you. Even in your darkest nights. Even in your most broken moments. Even when you questioned whether I was real, I was right there. Closer than your own breath, waiting not to be understood, but to be trusted. And child, you've come further than you think. The enemy tried to destroy you. He tried to silence you. He tried to convince you that nothing would ever change. But look at you. You're still here. You're still standing. You're still searching for my voice, and that alone is proof that hell did not win. You didn't miss your moment. You are in it. Right now. This is the turning point. This is the shift. This is where sorrow ends and strength begins, not because the circumstances are perfect, but because you've finally realized, you don't need perfect to believe. You don't need certainty to hope. All you need is me. And I'm not going anywhere. What's ahead of you is not small. What I'm building in you will bless not just your life, but generations after you. That's why the battle has been so intense, because the calling is heavy. But don't let the weight confuse you. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. I carry what you can't. I cover what you can't fix. I redeem what you thought was ruined. And I restore what no one else can touch. So today, I speak life into your dry places. I speak peace into your storm. I speak fire into your faith. You will rise again. Not the same. Not weaker. But wiser. Stronger. Anointed. Unshakable. Because when you walk with me, you don't walk alone, you walk with the power of heaven behind you. You walk with angels surrounding you. You walk with destiny inside you. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not depression. Not fear. Not anxiety. Not loss. Not shame. Nothing can separate you from my love. So declare this over your life, I am not done. I am not defeated. I am not disqualified. I am chosen. I am loved. I am protected. And I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Let the lies fall away now. Let the guilt fall off. Let the heaviness leave your chest. Because freedom is not a theory, it is a presence. And that presence is here. Right now. Holy Spirit, fall fresh on this heart. Heal what's been broken. Rebuild what's been torn down. Restore the joy that was lost. Renew the faith that once burned strong. This is not the end. This is the rising. This is the reawakening. This is the moment where fear loosens its grip and love takes its place. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your worst day. You are my child. And that will never change. So breathe again. Sing again. Believe again. Because I am doing a new thing. Even now. It springs forth. Do you not see it? I am making a way in the wilderness. I am bringing rivers to your dry ground. And I will finish what I started. Always. If this message touched your heart, it wasn't coincidence, it was confirmation. Share it with someone who needs to hear me. Don't scroll away. Sit with me for just a few more seconds. Let my presence settle into the quiet. Let me speak in the stillness. I'm not done. And neither are you.